Welcome back to this episode of the Become Limitless podcast. This week, I want to talk about the Law of Atraction. I want to talk about the basics of it. I want to talk about what does it mean to me? What does the Law of Attraction mean to me? And how we can apply it to our lives. And then just a quick summary of how all these things tie in. And hopefully that'll round off the episode quite nicely. Alright, let's get straight into it. So the basics of the Law of Attraction. It goes to the universe and the quantum mechanics and everything. If you go small enough, is a vibrating frequency of information. And simply put, it's your ability to attract things into your life. It's about resonance, it's about your vibe, the way, how much you're vibrating, the information you're vibrating at, where you're at vibrationally on a quantum level, and then those things and your actions and your thoughts carry vibrations, information and energy, and they obviously attract certain things into your life. It's also a bit of your RAS filtering in certain things as well, because if you can't see these opportunities that are in front of you, you won't see them. And a little example of that is there's so many videos out there, if you go searching for it on Google, about just how your brain filters information it doesn't want to see out, especially with the RAS. So go looking for like counting of basketball bounces and things like that. So if you don't believe it, that when you do these kind of exercises and you're counting this basketball bouncing, and you're going to count how many times the people pass the basketball bounce, how many times it's bounced, or how many times it's passed, and you're trying to keep track of that. And I remember watching this video and going, what are we doing here? It was a test, like a visual test to make sure I understand, I can count. There was also a spotlight, so I had to keep my eye on the spotlight where it wasn't for a person, and I had to count how many times that the ball went to the person. So I'm like, oh, I got this, and I was counting really well. I thought I nailed it. Then at the end they go, did you see the person in the gorilla suit walk through the middle? I'm like, how? What do you mean there's a gorilla suit walk through the middle? And then you replay the video, and it's you just, when you're not paying attention to things, your brain will not filter that information in. And there was a gorilla suit walk through the middle, stand in the middle, do a little dance or jump up and down, I can't remember exactly, and then walk off the side of the stage. And I had no clue that they were there, because my brain was focused, my RAS was focused on the information that I needed to focus on, about the basketball, about the bouncing, about the spotlight, all these little things where my attention went. And it was very powerful for me I go, well, I don't see everything, and your reality is what you see. But what it is what you perceive and what you see and how you see reality. So it's very powerful. When I watched that and I started to think about the Law of Attraction, and you're going to attract things that you are thinking about, so your RAS is switched on to, you're vibrationally in a match with. This is quantum level, quantum physics. If you're not, we should go over an episode. I'm going to go over an episode of quantum mechanics. Just quick little quantum mechanics. I know it's pretty crazy, but it has crazy ties and of a lot of the things we talk about. A lot of things for you as a person, and a lot of things in regards to how the actual universe works, and how we don't understand how the universe works, and how you think these fundamental laws and gravity and how things work, and you believe that that's the way things are. But then there's always exceptions to that rule. There's always exceptions to all these rules, where something doesn't follow those laws, or something doesn't follow the way it should do this, or it shouldn't do that, or how does this even happen? So we've got a lot of questions in the world, and the Law of Attraction really, a lot of people go, oh, that's rubbish, rah, rah, you don't attract that. Well, look at all the people in the world that are successful. And they had to attract that wealth. They had to attract that money. They had to attract all those things. And maybe attract isn't the right word. Maybe they worked their butt off. They took a lot of actions, their thoughts, their actions, and the way they perceived the world and the situations in front of them allowed them to make that money, allowed them to get to where they wanted to go. Because how many times do you see people that win the lotto and they go bankrupt? They lose all that money. And right there is a perfect example of someone that's not resonating with the money that they got. It might, change the way they think about money, but realistically, the person and the way they see reality, it doesn't match. There's no resonance. They're not vibrating the same resonance. So how could they possibly have that much money still? So they'll throw it all away. They'll throw all that money away. And that's where the law of attraction comes in. If you can start to work on yourself and you can start to bring your vibration into that match for whatever person you want that to be, fitness, your health with eating, your wealth, your relationships, your work, your profession, your business, whatever aspect of your life, then you can start to bring in the things you want, because you're going to be vibrationally a match. And that's what they talk about in quantum mechanics, and that's what the gist of the law of attraction is. Okay, you could also look at it as a little bit deeper in when two frequencies meet and they're not in synchronicity or harmonized, you get disorder. You get this incompatibility with it. And that's when you see the people that win the lotto. And that's when you see the people that are made a fortune then lose it. So something happens outside of it, they lose it. And then they can build it back up. They can find a way. They're in resonance with a different lifestyle. So they'll either throw the money away, or they'll either find the money. Or a sports person. A person that's very fit. If something happens to them physically and they can't exercise like they would have normally, they find a way. Their body, their brain, their whole reality is vibrating at a certain level, so they've got to match that. You could also look at this as a thermostat as well, your thermostat for your life, and for where you set your thermostat in regards to any aspect of your life. Let's call you like you're really fit, and you've got 100. You're set at 100, your thermostat. Or something happens, it's trying to cool you down, but your thermostat's set at 100. And someone's opened the door to let you're not exercising or something that happens. You start to work too much, you have a kid, you get whatever situation happens, and you start to cool down. But the thermostat kicks in and goes, hey, hang on a second, you're 100. And you go back to exercising again. It's what you set. All these things play into the law of attraction. That's what we want to be playing with. We want to be playing with our thermostat. We want to be playing with our thoughts, our actions, what do we do? And that will all marry into the law of attraction. Now, you can also look at it as the conductor and the symphony. If you've got one person playing out of whack, you can imagine, you can hear that. You can hear the disharmony. You can hear that they're not in the right pitch. I'm sorry, I'm not very musical in that regard, so please bear with me if you are. They're just not playing in the right sound. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't fit in with the symphony. It doesn't sound like music. It doesn't sound like music, does it? So when we look at it, we've got to remember that, like, say, the symphony is each and every part or aspect of your life. If they're not all in sync in the way you're conducting and the way you want your life to go, and if not every aspect is in that right spot and playing the right note and at the right frequency vibration, it'll have mismatches. It won't sound right. You'll have disconnects. You'll have disorder. You'll have incompatibilities. And you'll find that one aspect of your life will be falling back, or one aspect of your life will be really pushing ahead because it's perfectly in sync. That's where we're going to work as the conductor of our lives to start to bring these frequencies, these vibrations in order with what we want. Now you might be going, okay, so that's all sounds very hairy-fairy to start with. If I want to try and do these things, what does that mean? How do I apply this to my life? How do I go ahead and start to try and do these things? Start to try and bring these frequencies up, bring this alignment in place. And I've given you a few hints. Is working on how you act, working on how you think. Those two things will work on your RAS. And so how do we think and how we act dictates how our RAS perceives reality for us. As I stated with the crazy video, and you gotta go check something out. If I can find it, I will link it in the bottom of this podcast, so have a look down there, and you better see the YouTube video. You'll be aware of it, so please try to count as much as you can with the basketballs and things like that, but just give yourself an opening to what you're not perceiving, what you're not being aware of, and what you can be aware of, and how many opportunities you might be missing for anything in your life, any aspect of your life, any person. Say it's a relationship. The perfect person might be out there, but you're not resonating at a frequency, or not thinking the thoughts that are required, or doing the actions that are required for you to meet that person, because you could see them and not even know they're there. Completely move over, like your eyes will just, your brain won't perceive that they're even in the scene that you're at, wherever you are. You won't even notice them. You'll notice whatever your RAS is filtering in, whatever those thoughts and feelings are, whatever you are resonating with. So we need to change that. We need to start doing all these things. And my whole podcast, the whole last two and a half seasons, coming into third season now, is about creating habits, creating rituals, creating the environments that we want, so that we can be who we want to be, so that we can start to change how we think, how we feel, controlling, becoming aware, what actions we take, taking actions towards what we want to be, to become limitless. Then our RAS starts to kick in. Again, another episode, sorry, my apologies. Another example is, say you're going to get a new car, and you start researching new cars, and you go, oh geez, I haven't seen many of these cars around. You start researching, and then all of a sudden, all you can see, you're driving around, is these cars. And you're like, well, I didn't see any of these cars before. Where the heck did these cars come from? That's your RAS. That's your thoughts now resonating with that car. Your reality is now showing you that car. It's now giving you a glimpse of what it could be like to drive that car. You'll start to attract that car into your life. You're taking actions by researching. You're thinking about the car more. And that's how you start to resonate and change your frequency to match what you want that life to look like. You're starting to play a different tune in regards to the car you drive in your symphony. It's starting to play a different tune. It's no longer the old car. It's now this new car you want to drive. And now you can see that it starts to resonate with these things. And that's what it's all about. It's all about getting yourself to the same vibrational frequency, the same resonance as the life you want, or whatever aspect of your life that you want. Now, we also have one more thing we can do. We can start to obviously think and feel and take action differently. And a way to influence those things as well is to start to visualize. Now, we've gone over visualization in earlier episodes. I can't even remember what season that was that we did that. Go back, find it, watch that, because that'll help you visualize better. And being able to visualize will give you the power to then prime your brain to start your body vibrating at a certain frequency for what you want to achieve. What do you want to get out of life? Where do you want to be? Do you have lots of money? Do you want to have the perfect relationship? Do you want to have an awesome family? Do you have lovely kids? Do you want to have an amazing business that's running crazy, making lots of money? Do you want to have a profession that you feel great doing, feel rocking up? You feel awesome when you rock up to it. What do you want out of life? The law of attraction dictates that what you think and how you feel and how you act, and especially inside that brain and what programs are running in the brain, you will receive. It'll come to you. And if you're thinking limiting thoughts and you feel limited and you're taking actions of a person that is limited, you're not going to have a limitless life, are you? You can't possibly have a limitless life if that's the way you think, feel, and act. And that's the way the law of attraction works. You attract what you think, feel, and act. The way you think, feel, and act, and the way that you're programmed. All the programs are running in the background, which dictate how you think, feel, and act in essence as well. So get out there, start changing your thoughts, start changing your feelings, how you feel, your emotions, start becoming more aware of them, being in control of them more. A person that feels happy and thinks life is amazing doesn't get angry over nothing, doesn't get angry at their spouse, doesn't get angry at their job, doesn't like their boss, doesn't like their kids, doesn't like the way their kids act, don't like the family they have. People that are happy don't feel that way, do they? So why are you thinking and feeling and acting in that way? Again, it takes power, it takes awareness to start to change those things. And it's amazing how a little bit of awareness, a little bit of living in the moment allows you to do these things, allows you to really start to take control of your life. You start to move away from programs that you might have been given as a child that you didn't know were working against you. And then you can start to attract these things into your life that you want to attract. These different things in your areas and aspects of your life. Okay, so let's summarize this episode now. What do we look at? What are we talking about when it comes to the law of attraction? The basics of it. It's what's your frequency? What are you running at? Where are you thinking? What are you feeling? All your thoughts, your feelings, your actions have a frequency. They have information in them. And that the universe is going to be obviously finding a resonance, finding a match to that for you. And however you think, feel, and act, you'll react. You'll create back. It'll come back at you. Remember, reality isn't what it is. It's how you perceive it. It's what you can see, what you see of it, how you make anything of it, because your RAS1 will filter only things that you want to see in. Now, how do we bring that in? We've got to be the conductor of our symphony, of our life. A symphony, many different aspects in a symphony, many different aspects in our life. We want to make sure they're all playing at the right frequencies, the right tones, so that it sounds beautiful music. There's harmony. Our life will flow in the direction that we want it to as the conductor. If it isn't, you'll get mismatches. It'll sound horrible. Your life will be really hard. You'll get a lot of resistance. I was looking for that word throughout this episode. A lot of resistance in this. As we've seen with the people that win lotto and then resonating at a rich person, a richer mentality, they lose all that money. Same token, the other way around, that person that's had lots of money, made lots of money, they've lifted themselves to that status of having more money. When they lose it, they'll be able to find it, no worries at all. They'll be able to work it out again. So, change your thoughts, change how you feel, control how you feel, and your actions. Control your actions. Take different actions. Take actions that resonate with, and then visualize what you want to visualize, how you want your life to be. Start priming your brain, start vibrating at a different frequency. I hope that made sense. I hope you get a bit of a gist. It was a bit of a quick brief overview, only 20 minutes, so there's a lot in the law of attraction. If you are interested, go check out, go Google it. There's so much information out there. There's so many different things. People talk about the law of attraction, how many different tactics you can take, tactics and strategies you can use. So I hope that you really got something out of my episode. And if you did, Share it around. Share it with your friends and family. Go check it out on the YouTube. Don't forget, there's episodes on the YouTube. You get to see me on YouTube. It's a bit of a different one. So until next time, stay limitless.